Hello and welcome. You're watching My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. It's Delhi playing Punjab today, the second day of the excitement. Of course, there's excitement. There's lots and lots of excitement. You're excited. I'm excited. And, you know, Delhi and Punjab, everyone's anyway, default setting is one of excitement. And this match is happening in Dubai. I am Gaurav Kapur and I am here in Mumbai. I have with me Mr. Harsha Bhogle, also from the UAE. Sir, which emirate are you in? Are you in the Abu Dhabis or are you in the Dubais?
I am, sir, in the Abu Dhabi, sir. I'm in Abu Dhabi. I'm still in quarantine. I'm in Abu Dhabi, but I'm relishing so much grass on the pitch.
Sir, but I just want to tell you that this is the fake grass over here, sir. It is fake grass.
If this grass is not for fake selection because no, because
yes,
the grass had gone with fast bowlers.
Sir, it is a problem. This is not a grass to graze. It is not a grass to smoke. It is not a grass for anything. It is just a color. It is a tinge. It is a reflection. We have Mr. Joy Bhattacharjya here sitting in his James Bond chair in Gurugram. How are you, sir? Are you well this evening?
I am, yeah. Just managed to get rid of the bodies yesterday, so today is a fresh new start. Whatever has happened has happened.
Talking about. Well, we just quickly change the topic. 11 bodies is what you need. No. Not to take care of them, to select them in your team. How do you do that? My 11th Circle. Go to my11thcircle.com and, of course, choose the team. Choose the game first, which is today's game, Delhi and Punjab, and then make your own team and play against Dada. Super easy, man. It's no problem. You can do it. I know you can do it. And maybe later we'll also tell you who your secret picks perhaps should be. But we're talking about Delhi and Punjab. When we talk about Delhi and Punjab, the one very interesting thing is that both these places also have a lot of crossover, right? There's a lot of Punjabis in Delhi people in Punjab. But it's so true in today's game because Punjabis wearing the Delhi shirt, the Delhiites wearing the Punjab shirt. What am I talking about? The crossovers. This is, Harsha, this is like, honestly, this is like me when I come onto Cricbuzz Live. I forget whether I have to speak in English or in Hindi. This is what is happening with this team.
I know.
Oh, that's an amazing list.
We all got confused. Yeah, we've all got confused, haven't we, Joy? I mean, you particularly, the borders, but you're UP border, not Punjab border, I think. But we've all got confused. When I was doing the previews, I kept saying Glenn Maxwell, Delhi, Punjab. I said Mohammad Chahan and Mohammad Shami, Punjab. Ravichandran Ashwin, Delhi. So it's almost as if all 22 got into a room, picked up lots, and Punjab.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a huge issue.
Sorry, talking about Gurugram, you know this. Yeah, it's a bit of a swap party happening, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Swap party. Where? Gurgaon is, we are arms and ammunition type. Swap parties and all are for posh Bombay type, South Bombay type. We are not.
I get it. We are not into that. Player swap. Tu meri team mein, like that. Player swap. Keep changing.
But I have actually seen that happen once. I will not mention the player, but he played some 6 years for another team, and no, 5 years for another team, and he'd come. And he was playing for us then, and he nearly walked into their dressing room and when fielding was over, he nearly walked into the wrong dressing room.
Sorry, I've got a timer on here. It is taken, Calcutta, of course. It's taken him 4 minutes, 35 seconds to refer to Kolkata in a story that had nothing to do with Kolkata at all.
Did I mention a team? Did I mention a team?
Also, I just also want to make it clear to everyone that when I was talking about swap and being in Gurgaon, I meant that Delhi, the seat of government, is so close and people keep swapping parties over there. I don't know what Joy was talking about. But anyway, let's talk about Punjab, which has won the toss with their new captain, KL Rahul. And no surprise, KL Rahul has decided to put Delhi into bat. And Harsha, he gave the reason at the toss and it was fairly clear, right? You don't know what the score is going to be. You don't know what due is going to be. So really, you were always going to win the toss and choose to chase.
Yeah, it is. It's a good toss to win, as we discovered yesterday with the due as well. So it's a good toss to win. And the real reason why, he said, look, I'm not quite sure how it's going to play. So we might as well observe what it's doing. But they've looked at the grass. Decided, look, I think there's going to be a bit of life in this. I'm just surprised they've picked all three right-handers, Kagiso Rabada, Heinrich Nokia, and Mohit Sharma. They've gone on the side first, so we pick him. I thought they'll go with Sams, the left-hander. But and then they got Stoinis, so it's an all right-hand bowling attack. No, as we thought, and Hetmar gets his spot ahead of Alex Carey.
There's Akshay Patel.
Akshay Patel. Oh,
yeah.
I kept thinking Akshay.
No, Akshay Patel and Harshal Patel are both in Delhi. So there you go. So just to point out one thing over there, is that there's no Ishant Sharma. There's been a bit of an injury scare with him. News came in this morning that he's got a bit of a back issue. They've got obviously they miss his raw pace. It's good that they have the experience and guile of Mohit Sharma there, which could be very handy on these pitches with this kind of pressure. You need an experienced campaigner there.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm looking at here is this is not as long a batting order as Delhi normally plays. Here you established batsmen finish at 6, and then you have at 7 and 8, you have Akshar Patel and Ashwin, who are useful lower order batsmen. But they are lower order batsmen. Normally teams like playing almost like their number 7s are normally stronger than this. So it's a sign of a captain, and it's a sign of a team who wants results. They've loaded it with bowlers. They have more bowling options than they need. There are 6 bowlers out there. So I think that's what they're looking at. They feel that bowling will win them matches. And if guys have to deliver, the first 6 batsmen have to deliver it for them. And that's interesting. It's a very Ricky Ponting kind of way of looking at a match. He doesn't want options. He says, okay, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to give you the best bowling. And you 6 guys, you got to deliver the batting.
But here's the thing, right? You have the experience of Shikhar Dhawan at the top. He is 1/2 century short of the all-time high 50s for an Indian player. Of course, way behind David Warner, who's the all-time leader. But you've got the experience of Dhawan up there. You've got the youngsters hitting the ball hard in terms of Prithvi, Rishabh, Hetmyer, perhaps Stoinis as well. And then you've got Shreyas Iyer, who'll probably play the, sort of more the anchor role, something like Faf played yesterday. Is that a fair assessment, Harsha?
Yes, it is. I mean, every team designated roles. I thought Chennai yesterday played to the designated roles absolutely perfectly. I still think to the program, I still think Rishabh Pant, Shimron Hetmyer, one of them has to be in the last 5 overs. There's a lot of talk about Stoinis being a extraordinary record at number 6. All his runs in the Big Bash have come top of the order. He scored runs for Australia recently when they sent him up to number 3. He's a slowish starter. He's a sluggish starter. Price if Akshar Patel just comes in if there's only a little bit of time left. But yes, they need one person to go all the way through, a bit like what Faf.
Let's quickly also look at the Punjab side, of course. We have KL Rahul told us the 4, and we actually, we were talking about this so much yesterday. So you have Sarfaraz Khan, of course, playing, probably looking at Rahul and Mayank Agarwal opening there, Puran playing in the middle order. They've got a Karun Nair in there, Sarfaraz, great batting, Chris Jordan, very, very handy when it comes to T20s. Krishnappa Gautam, Mohammad Shami, Sheldon Cottrell, and Ravi Bishnoi. So any surprises there for you, Joy?
No, not really. I think the interesting that both Chris Jordan and Sheldon Cottrell are playing. I mean, that is something which I'm interested in seeing how that will sort of pan out for them, because that means that they've taken the extra bowler rather than the batsman. 2 fast bowlers, 3 fast bowlers. They really are not sure that their spinners will deliver. Maybe they're also trying to give Bishnoi a bit of protection, because Krishnappa Gautam and Bishnoi are maybe not as much frontline spinners or experienced spinners as say an Ashwin or an Akshar Patel is. They played a lot more for India. So maybe that's the reason. It's an interesting, once, as I said, that conversations have been had to not have Gale in the lineup. This lineup reasonably chooses itself. The interesting one for me would have been Mandeep versus Karun Nair. And I think that would have been a decision made over the last 7-8 days, that who's looking better in the net, who do they think is going to deliver for them. Somewhere it's that kind of decision. It's not a decision that's been pre-taken. The rest you can make out there very clearly. Bishnoi is my spinner, Gale is not playing. These are my top order batsmen.
Well, we did have a big argument. I mean, not an argument, discussion about whether it would be Gale or Puran. Do you think this is also a chance, Harsha, for KL Rahul? Now, we know that KL Rahul for India has been that Superman. He'll bat at 1, he'll bat at 5, he'll bat at 12, he'll captain the team, coach the team, he'll be the wicket keeper, he'll fly the plane, he'll drive the bus, he'll do everything. But here, maybe he's saying that, okay, I am captain, I'm a new captain. Maybe I don't want to be wicket keeper. We'll put Puran as the wicket keeper.
Two things about that. One is, if your name is Rahul and you're from Bangalore, you have to be willing to do everything in the side. He has to bat where they ask him to. He has to keep wickets, stand at short leg. You've got to do all that anyway. Second, I won't be surprised if deep down inside he says, I am the replacement for MS Dhoni in white ball cricket. I know Rishabh Pant is a great talent, but excuse me, I want to be seen as that. How do I be seen as that replacement? I'll keep wickets. So watch out for who keeps wickets as soon as the game starts. If Rahul keeps wickets, there's a statement there going to be India's white ball keeper. If Puran keeps wickets, then I'd like to see Rahul keep wickets from a broader India perspective. And India perspective, I know we are talking Punjab, but I'm very concerned about the Nishant injury because it's a back injury. The team is going straight from here to Australia. But overall, on the teams, I think they've looked at the pitch, they've looked at they've done their own pitch report, and they've all gone in with additional pace. Both teams have gone in with.
And talking about pace, of course, brings us to our boost stamina meter. And if we look at who's on that list, of course, that's really no surprise. I'm guessing it's probably going to be Mohammad Shami. I'm not guessing because I was told it is Mohammad Shami. So there he is at number 4. It's Mohammad Shami. And his stamina score is right up there. But again, no surprise that it's right up there. And the reason why it's right up there, well, it is his performance and the fact that he, of course, has been running in and doing the hard yards. Yes, Joy?
Yeah, actually, this is an interesting one. I mean, with this stamina meter, what we're trying to do is try and actually calculate how much of an impact this guy has in the game. So there are 2-3 things that they're going to look at. They're looking at the number of deliveries he's bowled, the pace he's bowled them at, and the number of unplayable deliveries. Why unplayable deliveries is interesting. It's not a good delivery could also get you a wicket. A bad delivery could also get you a wicket. An unplayable delivery could also just be unplayable as it is. So it's a combination of how much you work, how fast you bowl, because obviously that's a matter of actual physical fitness. And within that, how many actual, what we call Jaffas are you prepared to bowl. So it's an interesting formulation. And I think it has Bumrah right up there at number 1, which is still, I mean, his record is absolutely sensational so far. And maybe the last match wasn't great, but Shami is definitely up there. And as somebody who bowls unplayable deliveries, anyone will tell you he's one of the finest in the game. But the interesting part about it is where I want to go with this is also that Shami started his career, guess where? The Kolkata Knight Riders. Okay, and now I'm going to be shameless about this because you guys are going to take my happiness anyway. So the one person he used to be scared of in Kolkata, he was not worried about anyone, was Adrian LaRue, the trainer, who told him, stop the biryani, go and train. Okay, so Shami goes, leaves Calcutta, becomes an India star, travels to Delhi, does everything. Who is now with Anil Kumble, who is now the trainer for Punjab? It's after so many years of KKR, it's Adrian LaRue. So Shami must be waking up and say, God, I'm stuck again. Adrian LaRue will look at him and look at that biryani on his plate and say, go right back to the salad. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's very funny.
One thing about Shami, though. The big comeback that you have seen from Shami, the last couple of years, the way he's bowled in the last couple of years, is a great testament to his skill, but he always had the skill. It's in direct proportion to his improved fitness.
Absolutely.
Which is why he's right up there on our boost stamina meter. All right, we've got hashtag Ask the Expert. We've got Ask Cricbuzz live. We've got a question that has come in. I'm going to pop that up right now. I think this has been an interesting point for Delhi. Because who's your number 6, right? Who's your number 6? But Anshul's question is, should Delhi try Stoinis at number 3 instead of number 6? Because Stoinis, as Harsha just mentioned, is not the ideal finisher in T20 cricket. He likes to bide his time before going berserk, and this will allow them to finish with Iyer, Pant and Hetmeyer. Not sure about them finishing with Iyer when you have Pant and Hetmeyer. And Harsha, just to answer this question with and your point both with one thing, which is I know that Stoinis obviously has got all his runs at the top of the order in the Big Bash, but maybe, I mean, he's playing for Australia at that level. Maybe there's just not enough of a sample size. He's not been tried enough because there's no shortage of ability there to hit the ball far and high.
No, but very, very simply, because someone is not number, you don't move him to a different number to take the place of someone who's already delivering at that number. So Shreyas Iyer at 3 and 4 has had a fantastic time. This is not delivering at 6. I'll move him up to 3. It's not fair to the guys who are already delivering at 3. So he's got to reinvent himself at 6. 3 for Australia is very clear. It's because Steve Smith was serving out his time for concussion, and therefore they had an opening at 3, and that is why he played at 3. If Smith was around, Stoinis was still down the order. And I mean, if Iyer, Pant and Hetmeyer are playing very well at 3, 4, 5, why would you want someone because he's not delivering at 6? And for all that you know, he might relish these conditions. He might say, you know what? Realistically speaking, my future is 6. I might have scored and prove myself at 6. And that's what all good sportsmen athletes must think.
I think there has been an issue for Delhi. They have bought him because they've always had a problem. The last season, they had a problem of not having a batting all-rounder at 6. They were not getting any overs out of their top 6, which means you have to go with only 5 overs, with 5 bowlers. And now, with Stoinis playing at 6, you have the option of getting a few overs there as well. And then, of course, he's a gun bat, and you've got gun bats above him as well. All right, let's give you a bit of a leg up when it comes to your My 11 Circle team selection. This is your My 11 Circle trump card. Let's have a look at who that is for today. It is Mayank Agarwal, 77 matches, 1,266 runs, a strike rate, which, trust me, this strike rate is going to get bigger and better. The 50s are going to get bigger and better, and you're going to see a lot more 6s, because that's the kind of batter he really is. Don't go by he's not playing a test match anymore. He's playing T20s. All right, I think we're going to cut to Joy Bhattacharjya now because he's got a book.
He's got a book again.
So can I just
love this book
before you just
book
go?
Is called the book.
I just want to say one thing. There are a lot of young people out there who are watching the show and they don't know what that is in Joy's hand because it doesn't have a backlight. They don't know whether it's got battery life or not. This is what books used to be before they came on tablets. So please, sir, carry.
Yeah, so this is a book called The Book of General Ignorance, and it's a fantastic book because it tells you about things you don't know. So the one I want to talk to you about is actually quite good. So, have you ever wondered where the huddle came from? Where this habit of all these players getting together before game came from? So, it started off at a college called Gallaudet College, Gallaudet College, in the late 19th century, and it was used when they were playing rugby or American football. And the reason they used it was, originally, their coach used to basically tell them what to do. It was a college for the deaf. So, the coach used to show in sign language what they were supposed to do. So they would very successfully do it and nobody would know their place. Once they played against another college, which was a college for the deaf, they figured out that those guys would see their signs. So all the players got around the coach in a circle like this, and the coach stood in the middle and gave the signals. And that's where the huddle started. So it's quite a crazy thing. This huddle started, it had nothing to do when it started off about, getting together and, team spirit. Wow. It was all about hiding your signals from the other team.
That is amazing. And which year? But which year was this? 1846.
I'm laughing so much. The two reasons I'm laughing is trust Joy to come up with that. My phone started doing something as soon as Joy was talking. I've got the Cricbuzz app on. My phone started doing something, and it was about to start playing this program, as you know.
Yes.
So I had to quickly go back. I had to quickly go back and come back to the team's page.
It has been a while since we've done this, so let me explain to you. This is something that Joy does. Joy has a habit of holding his phone in his hand and gesticulating. And many times, the phone automatically just presses a button and the show that we're doing live starts playing right then. So it's his own sort of Bengali Christopher Nolan kind of moment that he ends up constructing for us. Okay, let's
Bengali Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, Bengali Christopher Nolan.
The best Bengali Sandesh is called Nolan Sandesh.
One second. Of course, in Inception. In Bengali, it will be called Inception. So right now, let's talk about Shreyas Shreyas Iyer, who's the captain of the Delhi Capitals. So Shreyas, well, last season was his first season as full captain. I think I'm a little extra excited about this game today because both sides, you've got two India young guns as captains, two guys who, probably have not been, don't get spoken about in terms of India leadership roles because, you've got a Virat there, you've got a Rohit as backup whenever you have white ball now and then. So, but it's great to see these two guys in charge of IPL teams and then both having legends to guide them, one in terms of Ricky Ponting, one in terms of Anil Kumble. Harsha?
Yes, absolutely. And that's one of the things to look forward to. In fact, Mr. Gavaskar said KL Rahul is a potential India. Okay, so there's a little bit more pressure on him. I'd also like to see how they handle the different senior players in the side. But he's got Shikhar Dhawan, he's got Ravichandran Ashwin. Well, sadly, Ishant Sharma is not playing today. Kagiso Rabada, big international players, got all these senior players around him. No shortage of good international players around him. So I'd like to see from their own, I'd like to see their own performances, obviously, but I'd also like to see how they of older players and younger players. KL Rahul, for example, has got young Ravi Bishnoi today in the side. How does he handle? Suppose Bishnoi is a bit nervy and goes for, say, over. How does he handle him? So I think you've got a match between Delhi and Punjab. Within that, you've got a match, as you rightly said, between two young India captains on to see how they're managing their players. Yeah, we saw a masterclass yesterday from Dhoni on managing players. So I'd like to see how they go about doing it.
Joy, you've when you were at Kolkata, you've obviously been in situations where there is a captain in a team and there are some, former captains or international captains or senior players that are playing. What is the best way to sort of handle that? And who handles it? Is it the coach? Is it the players between themselves? How does this work?
Look, it depends a hell of a lot on the players. So, for example, when Jacques Kallis was in Kolkata, somebody like Gautam Gambhir immediately sort of deferred to him. But Jacques never opened, there was never any doubt as to who was the captain of the Kolkata Knight Riders. Jacques gave his opinion because Gautam valued it, Gautam asked for it, and Gautam took it. But Jacques never went and said, you know what, I've played much more international cricket than any of you, I know what this is about. Look, it also helped out there in the dressing room that you had somebody like a Wasim Akram there. So Wasim Akram, immediately this becomes about a council of elders rather than one big player versus one small player. And I think that's going to also happen with both these players that you have a Ricky Ponting there in the dressing room, who's also like a player. So that's going to take a little bit of the pressure off. You have an Anil Kumble on the other side. So I think that this whole pressure of being just that, okay, I have to take the decision, take the leadership. Don't worry, there's a sort of group of leaders out there. I'm the captain, but it's their job to help me. And they will. So they should have already, in these 7, 10, 15, 20 days they spent together, most of the team should have worked this out. And hopefully that mix is good. Look, mixes can always change if teams don't do well, but hopefully the mix will remain good.
Talking about a council of elders, I'm very fortunate to have both Harsha and Joy here with me. There's no connection to that.
I knew you were coming up with that council of elders. Okay, bow. Say salam, pair chuo.
Salam. So he said, "Sun to lijiye, what I'm asking for from the council of elders, I would like to hear, right? This is the My 11 Circle badge of honor. So which one of you two fine gentlemen, village elders, can I give it to when you give me your score prediction of what Delhi will score because they are batting first?"
India's future lies in the hands of its youth. It has long been said. It's in the hands of its youth, and the youth must show the way forward.
182.
Okay, 180.
187.
हमेशा पास आके बैठ जाते हो, ये दिल्ली वाली आदत नहीं जाती आपकी.
चिपको टाइप हो यार.
Social distance करो यार, social distance. Chalo, so you've given, of course, there's a 5-run give and take. So Harsha, of course, has got the most wingspan here, and we are going to be joined. We're going to be clashing into each other. But give us your score prediction as well. We would like one of you to win the badge of honor. Yeah, you know how to do that. Hashtag Cricbuzz Live. And before we go, a real quick look at the Joy Factor question before we wrap things up. What do you got for us today, sir?
Okay, this is nice. It's about something which I'm passionate about, Indian domestic cricket. This Indian cricket list of 5 players, the top 5 in this list, has 4 spinners and 1 fast bowler. Two of the five are Venkatragavan and Sunil Joshi, as spinners. Another has the best ever bowling debut in Test history, so that should tell you who that is. Who is the first player on this list? That's all I'm asking. Who's the first player? Very, very significant list in Indian domestic cricket.
Interesting. Hashtag Cricbuzz Live. Give us your answers. We want to hear them. All right. Well, that's all we have time for now. That's all we have time for. Thank you so much to Harsha. Thank you to Joy. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here from different parts of the world. Thank you to all of you watching from all over the world. Thank you so much. I'm Gaurav Kapur. We will catch you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox. That's all we have for you on My Level Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. Thanks for watching.